Hi guys, I'm Laura and welcome to my new video. So in this video I'm gonna tell you 6 tips that I use for studying for med school. So first I gotta say I'm really sorry for the lack of makeup. I just came back from school. I'm still wearing like my school uniform and everything. So this is what I look like when I'm back from school. These tips are the ones that I use for med school specifically, but I think they're pretty general and they can apply to like high school, elementary school, or even college like undergrad or other majors. So let's get started. So first tip is go to class. I know when you're in college it's really free for you. You can create your own schedule, you can skip class, but I really recommend going to class and like being there, paying attention, trying to go as many classes as you can. And if you don't go to class, because I know between med students it's pretty common to just skip lectures, but you don't just skip it and then that's it. If you skip a lecture, then you have to read, like to catch up on that lecture. So I know in most of med schools they record the lectures, so what you can do is just skip the lecture and then go back home and really listen and rewatch the whole lecture at your own pace. So I really recommend going to class, and if you don't go to class then you have to like catch up on the class. So if they don't record your lectures, maybe asking someone else for a recording or asking someone else for notes or those type of things, but really try to go to class, because sometimes you can have just the professor's handouts or just the PowerPoints and stuff, but sometimes they say a lot of stuff that are not on the paper and that are like extra stuff that you need to know, and then the professor is just gonna say it and it's not gonna write it anywhere. So I think that's the most important thing of all, it's going to class. Tip number 2, it's due before, during and after the class. So I personally like to read a little bit before the class, so I just know the name of the class. I will just really quickly Google it and just read a super short resume. You don't need to like read a whole book before the class or anything, but it's good to be prepared and to know what they're gonna talk to you about, because sometimes you just get to the lecture or get to the class and you don't know anything about the subject and you're completely lost, and you just feel like they're talking to you in another language, and then if you don't get what they're saying, you're gonna get bored, you're gonna get sleepy, and it's not really productive. So I like to do that. Sometimes I really don't have the time to do it, but I try to do it as much as I can. Just read like a really short summary about the subject that we're talking about or something like that. Then during the class I like to take notes. So I think this is really important for me. There are really different techniques to take notes, and you have to know what works best for you. So what I personally do is I bring my notebook and I just take notes. So sometimes my notes are not the most organized and my handwriting is not the prettiest. So I'm gonna show you one of my notebooks. Actually, I have one right here. So you're gonna see my handwriting is awful, by the way. So I don't know if you can see. I just take super quick notes in a really ugly handwriting, but then I'm gonna take these notes and I'm gonna make them prettier, like I'm gonna summarize all the important stuff that I take off. And for me, having a notebook and just noting what I think it's important of what the professor is saying, it's what really works for me. And then for the after part, what I personally do is I retake my notes and I retake the recording of the class, and I will sit down with my computer and I will make a summary of all the information that I consider is important, and I will keep it on this binder. So I have this binder divided by class. I'm gonna show you like one page. I'm gonna show you, for example, this one. So I'll just retake my notes and the recording of the class, and I will summarize everything that I think it's really important, and I will have them here. So I just try to replace the whole class in just like 1 or 2 pages at maximum. So I'll print again some images that I consider important, or make some draws or things like that. And then what I do is for the test I just reread all these summaries that I have in here, and that's what I'll do for studying for my test. Also, I think it's really important that you make your time as effective as you can. So I am a really YouTube addict, and as I do everything pretty much on my computer, I get super distracted, so I end up on Netflix, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and all that stuff. So what I like to do is I like to use a blocking app, you know, because I have no self-control. Like, I just start studying and I always end up watching YouTube videos of God knows what. So I like to use those kind of blocking apps because they're really helpful and they really make your time more efficient. And you will realize that if you make your time more efficient, at the end of the day you will end up earlier, and then you will have time to chill and relax and watch all those YouTube videos that you love and stuff like that. So I use this app called Cold Turkey, and to get it you just go to getcoldturkey.com. Once you're there, you just click on download now and you can get the free version. You click in there and it will get you an icon and it will automatically start the download. Once you download it, it will create a link on your desktop, just like that. So I get there, and then once you're in the app, the only thing you do is you type this website that you want to block. So I'm typing twitter.com. Then you go to schedule and you set up the time you want to block the app. And then you go to start. Go Cold Turkey, and then that's it. Now I'm going to show you how I blocked YouTube and Instagram. So I just go to youtube.com and it will show you like an inspirational quote, and it will tell you that it's blocked by Cold Turkey. And the same thing happens when I try to go on Instagram. The third tip, it's for me the hardest one, really, and it's don't procrastinate. I know it's really easy to say and it's really hard to accomplish, and I know it. I procrastinate a lot. I'm really trying really hard not to do it, because it's super important you get organized with your time, because there's gonna be a moment of the school year where you have a bunch of stuff to do, and if you prepare before and if you start doing everything as they hand out it to you, then at the end you're not gonna be stressed out, freaking out with no time, doing everything bad because you don't have time to do it, so you just have to do it running. So it's really important to don't procrastinate. Try to stay organized. For that I use a planner. This is like my life, like my entire life is here, and what I do is I just write down everything that I have to do so I can see it and I can organize the time and I can know what's coming next for me. So for me, don't procrastinate, staying organized, it's super important. My fourth tip, it's just enjoying as much as you can. You know, even if you're in high school and you think school sucks and you hate it, it's gonna get over, and then you're gonna miss it, and you're gonna miss your friends and like the people, the teachers, the routine, everything you're gonna end up missing. The same with college. So I think you need to try to make the best of it, to enjoy it as much as you can. I know there's really bad moments where you're really stressed out and you have bad grades and stuff like that, but you need to just try to be happy, stay positive, make it the best experience that you can out of it. Take a ton of pictures. I will say I really regret from my high school time that I didn't take that many pictures as I would like to, and now when I want to look back to those like memories and stuff, I don't have that many pictures and I really regret that. So I really recommend taking as many pictures as you can. You know, you're gonna be able to see them after and remember those memories and your friends and everything. So I really recommend that. Okay, my fifth tip is have friends to work with, so get organized with your friends and I don't know, make study groups maybe. That really helps in med school sometimes, you know, when you explain to someone the things that you're trying to learn, that really makes you learn them easier. So I think it's really useful to have study groups to discuss the subjects before the test, to make questions and stuff like that. That's really useful. Also, for example, for me, we have like a ton of lectures and classes on one day. So sometimes what I do with my best friend is we both go to a lecture and everything, but I will make half the summaries for that day and she will make the other half, and then we'll interchange them. And that's pretty useful because I know I've been in the lecture, I pay attention, but I'm not gonna remember every single thing that they say on the lecture, so I need to make the summary, but sometimes I don't have time to make them all. So that's pretty useful because I can make just the half of them but then have them all. My sixth and last tip, it's trying to stay as organized as you can. So for that you can do a lot of different stuff. You just gotta find what works for you. For me, for example, I have a planner to organize my entire life, but for studying, for example, I like to highlight the stuff when I'm reading it, and I like to make little flashcards for studying for the tests, and I know that really works for me, but you just gotta find what works for you. For example, I know a pretty common thing is color coding. For me, color coding, I mean, it doesn't really work that much because I'm not really like a colorful person, and I don't know, I think it takes like more time than what you get out of it. But I know for some people it's really important color coding and they do it like all the time. For example, for my best friend at school, I know she color coded every single thing in her entire life, and it's super useful for her, and she remembers the things by colors and stuff. So you just like gotta know what works for you and try different stuff on the way to knowing what really works the best for you. So I just hope these tips were useful for you. As I said before, it's what I apply for med school, but I think they're pretty useful for everything pretty much related, like school related. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, don't forget to subscribe down below, and let me know in the comments what was your favorite tip, or what's like more tips that you know and you use for studying. And I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!